What's up, Blue Hedgehog Nation? This is PCSRA Blue Hedgehog26, aka Mr. Daniel Voles. Hopefully everybody's doing well today, because I am too. Oh, one more thing. Hi, work! I hope you're not busy! Yeah, I had to do that right in front of the TV, so anyway. Welcome to this Monday's episode of PCSRA Weekly, as we are really excited to have you guys here with us. Yeah, so before you start commenting in the chat, remember to take note of the description down below. That way you guys know the rules and make it easier. What is up, Mr. Q Man? I'm going to send this to Zachary Taylor, so that way he can join. And yeah, so it is, I just got back. I do apologize for the delay of this show, because of the fact that, I will also put this in the Hedgehog World Order. Also, I'll put this in the PCSRA Discord if anybody else wants to come join. I'm also going to put this on Facebook, so that way everybody can join. As long as it's the right one. Okay. Gonna get you guys all settled in and all that good stuff. Yeah, if there's some things that I forget as far as who won the truck race, you can let me know in the chat down below. You had some key lime pie and no, you didn't share. Good. Figures. So, anyway, but yeah. So, alright. Without further ado, today's episode of PCSRA Weekly, we're going to be recapping the All-Star Race weekend. We'll recap the Indianapolis 500 qualifying, and you won't believe who did not make the race, which, do not spoil it for me in the chat, because we'll discuss that. We'll go through top story news, talk about, you know, WRLA's return, give you a, giving you some updates in the news around the WRLA organization. And then we will look ahead to the biggest motorsports day in the world, Memorial Day weekend, with the Xfinity race, F1 at Monaco, Indianapolis 500, Coke 600, and also the ARCA Break series. Yes, the ARCA Racing series returns to Charlotte for the first time since 2004. We are guaranteed a brand new winner in the return of the ARCA series. And this will be the first time with the new composite bodies for the ARCA series, so, yeah. But before I do any of that, give me 1 second. I gotta get some cheese, and I also need to put some deodorant on, because I'm a bit sweaty. So, yeah. So, while we're on the subject of saying hi to the ceiling, which I know, I'm sorry if you guys are looking at the ceiling or anything like that, so, yeah. Also, the reason why I mute the TV is because I don't want to get a copyright strike from YouTube, so. But no worries. I will get it, I will unmute the TV once the show is over. So, yeah. And speaking of show, after this show, I will be, what's going on in the chat? Well, I've been running around like a chicken with my head cut off, mate. So, yeah. After this stream, I have been invited to see Elijah after the stream because I didn't do anything wrong as far as stuff is concerned. But Elijah wanted to talk to me about something that we didn't get a chance to talk about yesterday, which is between him and I in a private message on Discord. I don't know if he, Elijah, if you come across this stream, I don't know if you want me to call you on Hangouts or Discord when you get home from school. By the time this goes up, you can let me know in the comments section down below. So, yeah. Other announcements is that I will let you guys know. I'll let you guys know that the weekly show for next week's episode is actually going to be moved to Tuesday because of Memorial Day being on Monday. So we will not have a show Monday on. The weekly show that's normally on Monday, we are moving it to Tuesday for next week's episode because of the fact Memorial Day is Monday. So hopefully everybody's okay with that. I'm okay with that as long as everybody's okay with that. That way it makes it interesting. Also, we'll try to get the reactions for the F1 race and also for the Indianapolis 500 because I need to, if for any reason, if I have to work Sunday and I can't make it to both races, then we'll be in good shape so far. Before we start the show, I want to say congratulations to Zane Smith on winning the race at Toledo in the ARCA series. And now the ARCA teams have a quick turnaround getting ready for Charlotte. So that's going to be interesting how that's going to work. I believe they are racing on Friday. I don't know if that is confirmed or not. I'll have to look at the schedule. I think they're racing on Friday. I don't know, but by the time you guys watch this stream, then you'll probably know it more than I do. So anyway, while I get my Parmesan cheese from the fridge, let's start off with the recapping of the All-Star race to start off our Monday show for the PCSRA Weekly. And a little disclaimer, if Zachary Taylor came across this stream, I'm having a Dr. Pepper and pizza, and no, I did not share neither of them. I know I should have done this earlier, but I'm just being a lazy you-know-what, but you get my point. Okay. I'm going to say this, I'm not going to eat while I do the show. After the show, yes. But I'm not going to eat during the show. Because I feel like, eating during the show, I make everybody hungry. So hopefully everybody understands. So anyway. Okay, let's start off this show by recapping the All-Star race. Starting with the Truck Series. Did not watch the Truck Series nor the All-Star race because, I had to work both nights. I can't figure out who won the truck race. I know it was not a Cup driver, because Kyle Busch was in that race. Oh, yeah. Actually, let me rephrase that. Let me take that back. I do know who won. Truck race was okay. It could have been a lot better as far as I'm concerned. And at the end of the day, Johnny Sauter won the truck race, which I did not... Yeah, Sauter. Okay. So Sauter won the truck race. Then we go to the Cup Series for their All-Star race weekend. I don't care about the Open because the Open was okay. Even though I'm happy AJ Allmendinger made the All-Star race. NASCAR finds a freaking way to screw Matt DiBenedetto out of the All-Star race. GG. Via fan vote, because they didn't have him voting. They didn't have Matt DiBenedetto in the fan vote, which I think that's kind of stupid in my opinion. Nice way to rig the All-Star race, Chase Elliott. The race felt like a super speedway. I felt like the All-Star race was like a super speedway race, not like a regular All-Star race. That's my opinion. And at the end of the day, it was Kevin Harvick who took home $1 million. And gave Stewart-Haas Racing their second All-Star win of the season. First time Stewart-Haas Racing won the All-Star race, that was not Tony Stewart. So, how about that? So, that's that. The truck race was a lot better than the Cup race. I have to say that. Because, even though Sauter won, I felt like the Cup race was kind of like a super speedway, and it was not competitive. Even though they were all closed up together, I just wish they'd get rid of plates a mile and a half, because I just don't see them doing that, especially in the 600, because 600 is an endurance race, So, I would give the All-Star race a 5 on a scale of 1 to 10. The truck race, I would give it either a 6 or a 7, as far as I'm concerned, so, yeah. But then, we go to the IndyCar, at Indianapolis. A couple of shockers that, as I'm just watching the weather here, even though it's muted. A couple of shockers to tell you all. Danica Patrick making it into the Fast 9. Shocker. And James Hinchcliffe, who came in 5th in points, did not make the Indianapolis 500. More on this later. Reaction to that? Shocker. That really shocks me that a driver in the top 5 in the point standings failed to qualify. Hi, SD. How are you doing, my friend? Let me give you your moderator deal back. Since it says Sports Talk 2.0, but you're SD. I am very shocked that that Hinchcliffe failed to qualify for the Indianapolis 500. That really surprised me, you know. Without the plate in the Cup Series, this package would be perfect. Yeah, exactly, and I'm against this plate at other tracks. It needs to be left at Daytona and Talladega. I mean, yeah, I understand you want it to make it a great competition, but what I don't get is why we have to have restrictor plate where drivers are going 170. You know, it's a lot slower than the Truck Series race, if you know what I mean. So, I mean, we're supposed to be in faster cars than fucking slow cars. So, yeah. Anyway, but back to the Indianapolis situation, which that will be coming up on my, which is going to be in. But Danica, what the? Yeah, I'm the same thing, SD. But here comes another. You won't believe this crap. Which brings me to the top story. There is a chance that IndyCar officials could get Pippa Mann and James Hinchcliffe into the field because this is the Indianapolis 500. Let me know what you think about that in the comments section, because I heard it was one of the board members. I think it was one of the George family members. Like, I don't know if it's Mary Holland George or if it was her husband that said that we might extend this because it's a special race. I am surprised to hear that, to be quite honest with you, as far as that's concerned. I don't know about you guys, but I would like to see that happen. My dad says I don't think it's going to happen, but let me know what you guys think about that in the comment section. Do you think George, Mr. George, the one at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, do you agree with him extending it to 35 and letting Pippa Mann and James Hinchcliffe race in the Indianapolis 500? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Also, if you're watching this published, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below, IndyCar fans. Would you like to see a 35-car field instead of a 33-car field? Or do you like it still at 33? Now, what's interesting about this thing is that this also is not the first time a big star failed to qualify. Remember in 2011, Ryan Hunter-Reay failed to qualify for the Indianapolis 500, but they got him in the race by putting him in the 41 after they made an agreement. So, with the fact that Hinchcliffe failed to qualify, does that mean Jay Howard gives up his spot for James Hinchcliffe? So, IndyCar fans, you definitely need to let me know in the comment section what did you think about all that. Yes, thank you, Q-Man, for bringing up this next point. IndyCar is going to have a new engine package for 2021. I'm really excited to see how that will turn out so far. So, yeah. So, IndyCar fans, let me know what you think about that in the comment section regarding about the James Hinchcliffe. I think it's kind of unfair for James Hinchcliffe to miss this race, and also for Pippa Mann, but, you know, that's my opinion, but let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. On to other top story news. The other news is that William Byron is going to be running a Jeff Gordon throwback, which ironically enough, Jeff Gordon drove that throwback at Bristol in 2015, but it was on the SS body and not on the Camaro body. Does that surprise me as far as that's concerned? Not really. That doesn't surprise me. That throwback that William Byron's going to drive, that does not surprise me at all. So, I guess the 24 just likes the Rainbow Warriors. So, but yeah, that's the thing as far as that's concerned. I don't know if Morgan Shepherd's going to be at Charlotte this weekend. I don't know. I haven't heard from Brian what's going on. So we'll just have to wait and see. Because buying composite bodies is like so expensive that they may end up, you know, saying that this could be their final year. Which that would suck, but you know, we're still going to have the 89, you know, for reserve, always reserved for Quentin Moore because of the fact he is a Morgan Shepherd fan. So, yeah. So, with that all said and done, let's look into the news. If you guys missed the news, I announced, if we're lucky, we'll make it the shark. Yeah. So, Kaz Gralla is actually going to be in the, I think he's going to be in the 70-something ride for the next 4 races in the Xfinity Series. So he got a ride, thankfully. And if that ride is good for the remainder of the year, he might be in the field. So that way, yeah, 61. If they can keep him in the 61 for the remainder of the year and get a pit crew for that team, that would be good, because they got to get like a composite body and all that random shit and yada yada yada. And Gralla would be in on owner points, so the 61 will be in the show regardless of the fact that that Gralla has owner points to get in the field, so the 61 team don't have to worry about getting in via owner points. So I don't think Gralla would be a go or go homer, because Gralla's raced at every track this season. So, yeah. Also, I believe sponsorship, and hopefully, you know, if that pit crew from JGL Racing shut down, I wonder if they're moving over to that 61 team. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens as far as that's concerned. But speaking of all that, let's look ahead to Memorial Day weekend. Starting with we have the ARCA race, Xfinity and Cup at Charlotte. We got F1 at Monaco. We got Indy cars at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It's going to be a blast. I love Memorial Day weekend because this is one of my favorite weekends of racing. We love seeing drivers have fun on Memorial Day weekend. It's going to be exciting, and I'm really looking forward to see how that's going to go. So, yeah. So, with that said, it is time, once again, to make my predictions. Now, I did message Elijah, asking him if he's making predictions for the ARCA Racing Series at Charlotte. However, I've not gotten a reply back from him. So, Elijah, if you're doing predictions for the ARCA Series, please let me know. Otherwise, I'm probably going to get a bonus point just because... even though I did make my predictions for the All-Star race, which thankfully I didn't, I could salvage what I can out of this week, but it's going to depend on, you know, if I can make it. Well, actually, let me rephrase that. I would make it to the podcast, but I would have to wait until I get home to join the podcast, because If you guys don't know yet, I don't get off till like 8. And I could be late for the prediction, so I could be losing a shitload of points if you ask me, and pardon my French. Yeah. Plus, you also have the fact that Summer Movie Fun starts a week from today. I should also remind you guys, so yeah. So with that said, let's go ahead and make my predictions. Starting with the ARCA race at Charlotte. I'm starting with ARCA. So here's how my order is going to go. It's going to be ARCA, Xfinity, Monaco, Indianapolis 500, and the Coke 600 predictions. That's how my predictions are going to go. Alright, let's start with the ARCA breaks. I know you guys want to hear these picks because I already knew who I was going to make a prediction. So the driver I think is going to win. By the way, it's driver to win, driver to stay away from Dark Horse. So the driver I think is going to win the ARCA race, or the ARCA Breaks 150. I love making funny puns about the ARCA series. Driver to win, I'm going to say Zane Smith, because with the momentum he got yesterday after winning the ARCA race at Toledo, I think that momentum is going to definitely carry over for him going into Charlotte. Even though none of the drivers in the ARCA Racing Series has raced at Charlotte before, ever, whether it's pit crew and all that, with the possible exception of Frank Kimmel, because Kimmel has raced there before, and he's probably teaching the young drivers, you know, the lines and all that. And also, for ARCA, it's the first time they get to see the new everything. Got to see all the walls have safer barriers, the grass, some of the grass being gone, etc., etc. So, yeah. But Zane Smith is definitely the driver to win. The driver I think you might need to stay away from, and this is only just because they've never raced at Charlotte before, but if I had to look at the results from that ARCA race yesterday, I would say Leilani Mutter would be the driver to stay away from, because, you know, I just don't think with her getting the finish, she hasn't been getting some good finishes lately, and I don't think she's going to get a good finish at Charlotte, because like I said, Charlotte is almost like Kansas, but you have that dog leg instead of Kansas like being the Las Vegas type. So Leilani Mutter, driver to stay away from. Dark Horse, I'm gonna say Natalie Decker. She finished 7th in the ARCA race on yesterday. I think with her momentum, what she's done so far, she's going to carry it over into the Charlotte race this weekend. So, yeah. You can catch that Charlotte race, by the way, this Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where they're going to have a shitload of green-white checkers and yada, yada, yadas to make me feel like the ARCA race will win the battle so far. For the Xfinity Series, and by the way, there will not be Cup drivers in that ARCA race, thankfully. For the Xfinity Series, driver I think is going to win, I'm going to say keep your eye on Justin Allgaier. I think Justin Allgaier is going to be a driver to get his win finally to count, because NASCAR rigged him for the penalty and all that crap. I think Justin Allgaier will bounce back from his penalty from last time out. I think he will get back into the win column and finally get his spot in the playoffs counted. So, Allgaier, the driver to win. Driver to stay away from. He's had so many bad finishes of late, and I just don't know if this team is really going to be competitive. But this driver's been also struggling so far. I'm going to say stay away from Brandon Jones, because I just don't think, with what he's done lately, I just think his struggles are going to continue on going into the next race. And the Dark Horse, I'm going to say Elliott Sadler, because Elliott is a driver I think that could win the race, as we have no viewers for some apparent reason, GG YouTube. But I think, you know, with the fact that, you know, Elliott is good at mile and a half, I think he's going to be definitely the driver you might need to keep your eye on. For the F1 race at Monaco, woohoo! Driver, I think, is going to win. They won this race last year with Sebastian Vettel. They're going to win it this year with Kimi Räikkönen. I'm going to say Kimi Räikkönen is the driver to win. I think he's really done a good job so far as a competitor. He's going to be the driver to win. Driver to stay away from, I'm going to say Sergei Sorokin. I think Sorokin has done wonderful for this team, but I just don't think he's going to have a good race, especially at the Principality, because there's wall at every track, and this is our first straight circuit besides the Australian Grand Prix that he would be racing at. And I think he's going to have another bad race, if you ask me, so far. The dark horse, I'm going to pretty much say keep your eye on Esteban Ocon, because if you didn't know, Ocon, I believe, has done a good job so far last year in the race. I think he's going to do it again this year at this racetrack, which is sorry, I had to take a drink. At the Monaco Grand Prix, that was what I was thinking of. I don't know what's wrong with me, but whatever. For the Indianapolis 500, driver to win the 102nd Indianapolis 500, I'm going to say Scott Dixon. The reason Scott Dixon is my driver to win is because last year he had one of the most frightening accidents I've ever seen in my time with these new cars. I think Scott Dixon is going to get Chip Ganassi another win in the Indianapolis 500. So that's definitely going to be my driver to win. Driver to stay away from, I'm going to say stay away from Danica Patrick, because I just don't think Danica, yes, it is her first race back at Indy since 2011, but I think she's going to end up crashing out just like she did in the Daytona 500 this year in the Cup Series. So I think she will definitely be the driver to stay away from. The dark horse, I'm going to say he won this race last year. He could go back-to-back. I'm going to say Takuma Sato to be my dark horse. All right, for the Cup Series, driver to win. I think he's going to pull a Casey Kane from 2008 and win not only the All-Star race, but the 600. I'm going to say Kevin Harvick, the driver to win. Because how good Stewart-Haas Racing has been with the Fords this year is incredible so far. It's really good. Driver to stay away from, I'm going to have to say Ryan Newman is the driver to stay away from. I just think Newman is never good at the Coke 600. Because if you look at his starts at the 600, it's not been good. Because some of the 600s, he has fallen out of the race due to crashes and all that. So he would be the driver to stay away from. And my dark horse, I'm going to say keep your eye on Michael McDowell. I think Michael McDowell is definitely a dark horse. He's been getting very good finishes, but sometimes he's been involved in some incidents not of his own doing. So I think he's definitely a driver we should keep your eye on as far as that stuff is concerned. So he is going to be my dark horse. Alright, with that all said, I think we should go ahead and wrap this up. That is going to do it for this Monday's edition of PCSRA Weekly. Want to thank you guys so much for joining me. If you guys enjoyed this stream, be sure to give this video a like. If this is the first time you enjoyed my channel and you want to see more content from me, please make sure to subscribe to my channel. I would appreciate that. Want to thank everybody in the chat for joining me for this show. Next Tuesday on PCSRA Weekly, we'll recap Memorial Day weekend. We'll look ahead to the next races ahead. So, yeah. But until then, I've been Danny Volt signing off, and we will see you guys later on this week for episode number 92, or 93 rather, of the Aaron Loy podcast. Until then, so long and take care, everybody.